doggone living room, or you're letting the TV in the room raise your child, BET, MTV, or go out in the backyard and play. And the next thing you know, you're wondering why your child has either psychological problems or ends up disappearing, walking down the street. I mean, how many times have we heard recently, of children wandering around 2 years old by themselves? Why? Because you have these so-called people that are considering themselves parents going out and getting their party on while you're going to sit there and leave a 6-year-old to watch a 2-year-old. What kind of, man, I was about to go into some foul language, man.
You got that look in your eye, Jerry.
Let me just tell you something.
Jerry, sit down, though.
Yeah, man, please calm down, dude. But I was in one of the famous stores. I'm not gonna mention it. It starts with a W, but anyway, I was in the store, and I was waiting in line to be checked out. The child couldn't have been no more than 2. Wandered off from. It was 2 adults. It was 2 young ladies in the checkout line. They were so engrossed in. One was engrossed in a cellular phone conversation. The other just run off at the mouth. This 2-year-old walked away and walked almost out of sight. No one watching this child. And when they turned around to leave the store, then they decided to turn around and take a look and see where this 2-year-old was. So I said, okay, let's just imagine that this wasn't inside a closed setting like this store. And this was like on the Grand Canyon. And you were like looking out of the Grand Canyon, and you know that if you've ever been to Grand Canyon, there's some places around where you can actually get through and you can fall over.
Well, not even get through. There's no barricade at all.
There's a barricade.
There's nothing there.
Right. And this child says, ooh, you know.
And wanders off.
And falls over the side. It only takes a second for a child to disappear, someone to snatch your child. And you never seen them again.
Around Thanksgiving, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, mother and father at a Lakers game.
Sad.
So enthralled with being in the plush seating.
Yeah, the skybox.
So enthralled with it, in conversation, you lose focus of your child.
Yeah.
No joke, the child actually fell to
and died.
His death.
Yeah. Wow. Because you're not paying attention.
You're not paying attention.
Now, this is not, I mean, any skybox is not going to be the level of which a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, even 4-year-old child can walk up to and just easily tip over.
That means you were paying absolutely.
This child climbed up.
Put forth effort.
And climb up.
And had time to do it.
Because I mean, they're not scaling it in 5 seconds.
No,
it took a while it had to take a while for this child to get up that high.
Because you have to realize that when you're in a skybox, there's an opening, but the opening has to be at least 5 feet. Yeah. At least 4 to 5 feet.
Further perpetuating the notion that the child had time where the parents weren't paying attention.
Wow. I can't think of a time when my daughter was in my presence that I never paid attention. I just can't. I can't think of a time. I can't. I really can't. I mean, even when I used to work in radio in New York, and my daughter used to go with me when I had her up in New Jersey, we used to train. Take the train over, and I would tell her. Well, we take the bus over and we take the train to the radio station, and I would tell her, this is as far as you go. You are to walk and stand right here next to me at all times. When we sit on the car and inside the train, when we get in the car, it only takes a split second for somebody to time that door, snatch your child, and the door is closed, train is taking off. So she knew that every time that door opened, she's to run over. I let her inside the car while the train is moving. I let her bounce all over the pole and the seat and everything. I mean, I'm sitting right there. But when that door opened, she flew over and sat next to me.
Gotcha. Well, let me tell you something. My youngest is 13. She was with me the other day. Her and I were together all day. And I kept my eyes on her then and she's 13 years old. And I always would reach back and make sure that I felt her right there with me.
Right.
You know, and I mean, you know, and I'm doing this with a 13-year-old. So imagine if she was only 2 years old.
Right.
Yeah. One of the jokes that unspoken jokes my dad and I have now, if we're together. Well, when I was a kid, the thing was, put your hand in daddy's pocket. So you feeling for your daughter, and Jerry, you knowing where yours was, mine wanted to keep me in his pocket. So the joke now is, when we're walking along, do I need to put my hand in your pocket? You know.
Yeah, you do. I don't care how old you are.
I don't think Sterling would.
I know.
Thank you, Stacey.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that at this time. But anyway, let's get back into some more of this great music, and we'll be back with some more of The Point of View with 3 the Hard Way.
Flicker in your flame, but your regimen of loving her is still the same. Forgotten holidays, forsaken little things. It means so much to her, but you let it slip away. Like a gambler's game, you're risking everything, and even though the stakes are high, you're playing with the heart. Before your card gets pulled, and before you roll the dice, just realize how much it's gonna cost. If you lose her, there'd be a hole in your soul, there'd be no grave deep enough to bury the pain. Fool, if you lose her, you may not see it now, but when she's gone, you'll know how much she's worth. No. Whoa, la, 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 la. She's always last on your list. She's starving for affection, but you turn a blind eye, cause you hear her say, honey, it's okay. Something deep down says give her more attention, but instead of telling the truth, you prefer the masquerade. Like a gambler's game, you're risking everything, and even though the stakes are high, you're playing with fire. And as she slowly starts to slip away, you realize how much it's gonna cost. If you lose her, there'd be a hole in your soul, there'd be no grave deep enough to bury the pain. Ooh, if you lose her, you may not see it now, but when she's gone, you'll know how much she's worth. If I were you, I just wouldn't take that chance, cause when the tides of change roll in, she'll be gone like footprints in the sand. Oh, if you lose her, there'll be no grave deep enough to bury the pain. Oh, if you lose her, you may not see it now, but when she's gone, you'll know how much she's worth. Oh, if you lose her, don't be a fool. If you lose her, you may not see
Tonight we're
it
talking
now,
about
but
grown
when
men
she's
business.
gone, you'll know
You're not
how
taking care of
much
your responsibility.
she's worth.
Man or woman, or male or female, don't delegate yourself as a man or a woman. There's nothing manly or womanly about dodging your responsibility.
especially when it comes to helpless, defenseless children.
Yeah. Interesting point, Jerry. I know you already know it. For a human being to be the most specialized thinking creature, we are born completely defenseless.
That's right.
A child is defenseless. That means by you being a deadbeat, you're opening up opportunities for predators, be they sexual predators, malicious predators, to come in and harm your offspring. And that makes you a coward.
No, it's no excuse for it whatsoever.
Well, you know how I feel about excuses.
Absolutely, man.
Excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothingness. Those who build a foundation upon them seldom amount to anything.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Right here inside the Point of View with Three the Hard Way.
It's everything you think men don't talk about. The Point of View will be back in a moment.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Count it off. It's not one, not two, but three the hard way. Let's get back to more of the smoothest music and what real men really talk about. Welcome back to the Point of View.
We're back inside the Point of View with Three the Hard Way. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and, of course, checking out the podcast tomorrow morning. If you know of someone that this show may be beneficial to, please hit them up. Because sometimes we don't like to call people out, but sometimes people need to have an eye-opener. And hopefully this will be an eye-opener for some.
I certainly hope so.
I mean, even if you know someone that you believe to be a deadbeat parent,
right?
Reference the show to them. Because they always take, sometimes all it takes is just someone else to touch someone's heart and to make them realize I was wrong.
Right.
You know?
You know what we haven't heard from this evening? We haven't heard from deadbeat moms or anybody speaking about deadbeat. And they're out there.
Definitely.
They're out there.
Mm-hmm.
There are women who readily give their children away to other people just so they can gain some sort of freedom back into their life.
Completely. It was your irresponsible actions that got the child to start with, and you're going to further perpetuate your irresponsibility by giving away a whole child.
Yeah. And there are people that are out there to do that. Or they'll pawn that child off to the grandparent so they can go get their swag on.
You know what? Interesting story. In my line of work, there's an organization that is housed at one of the places in my department. The name of the group is Grandparents Raising Grandchildren.
Oh, man.
Now, situations and circumstances, let's say,
I understand.
You know, parents killed in an accident or had a terminal illness, but there's so many who, you know, well, my daughter got this problem and she gave me a little nuck for a little while. And that little while turns into year after year after year.
Well, like I said, notice the word that I use, pawn.
Exactly.
The child off onto someone else. The grandparent, the aunt, the uncle, to someone else.
Family friend.
To a family, sometimes even a family friend.
Well, how about when they do that, they come back or try to come back into the child's life when they're almost an adult.
Yeah.
After someone else has raised them, spent all,
hard
all
part
the
is
time
over.
with them. Right. Now you want to come back and all the work's done. You know,
I'm reminded of the story of Shaquille O'Neal and how Philip Harrison raised him as his son. And when Shaq signed with the Magic, out comes this biological. And off
I
mic,
remember that.
Off mic, we were making reference to the song, and I don't at all blame Shaquille. You know, hard part is over. You weren't there. Now you want to reap the benefits of who I am.
Now you want to reap the benefits of being my father.
Now, if I were a librarian making the average